Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through some of the problems on the 6E assignment. Okay, first one we're going to take a look at here is number 1. Sketch a graph with a quadratic function with x-intercepts that are -1 and 3 and y-intercept of -2. So we'll simply graph those. X-intercept -1 and +3. And then the y-intercept is at -2. And then we're going to sketch that graph. Okay, so right in between here, this is about where the minimum is going to be. We don't know exactly where it's going to be, so we're just going to, again, a sketch is just roughly kind of figuring out what that looks like. Okay, so that is perfect for a sketch. All right, C, x-intercepts at 1 and 6, and then the y-intercept at -7. So since it's down here, this has to open down below because there's no way to make this go up and still be a function. Okay, so again, halfway in between is right about in here. We just kind of guesstimate as to where this is going to be. That's pretty steep right there, so I imagine this will be up a ways. Okay, but again, as long as you've got these 3 points and you know that it's opening down, that will be pretty good for a sketch. Okay, C, x-intercept at -1, and that's the only one they give us, and then y-intercept is at -4. So if that's the only x-intercept, that means it bounces off of that point. So that means it's going to go down like so, and then this one over here is going to just mirror image that over here, and so this will go down like that one there. Okay. All right, number 2, sketch the graph of each function by considering the value of a and the axes intercepts. So x-intercept is when the y equals 0, right? So 0 equals x squared plus x minus 12, and this could be intercepts. Okay, so since the leading coefficient is 1, the factors of 12, which are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4, that have a difference of 1, because that's 1x there, that's 3 and 4. So we know that this is going to factor out to x, 3, and 4. This sign goes with the bigger of the two, and then a positive times a what gives us gives us a negative, and that would be a negative. So x-intercepts are going to be 3 and -4. Okay, and then if we're looking for the y-intercept, that's when our x equals 0, right? So that's going to be y equals 0 squared plus 0 minus 12. Those both go away, and so our y, ooh, that did not work out well. Intercept equals -12. Okay, so now if we're going to sketch that graph, it is truly just a sketch here. So I would say 1, 2, 3. And -1, 2, 3, 4. And our y-intercept is at -12, so I'm just going to do this -12 instead of counting all those off. Is right here. Since this is a little farther from the y-axis than this one is, that means the middle is going to be right around in here. So I'm going to sketch that there, and then this one here. It looks kind of like a cow skull or something like that. Sorry, let's see if I can at least try this one a little better. Not beautiful, but you get the idea. Okay? All right, number 3, sketch the graph of the function by considering the value of a and the axes intercepts. I'm going to, yeah, let's do that. The a right here is a +1 equals +1. So we know it's opening up. Okay, that's kind of the big thing. And then let's look for our axes intercepts. X-intercepts, that's when y equals 0, right? 0 equals x minus 4 times x plus 2. So x-intercepts are going to be 4 minus 4 is 0, and -2 plus 2 is 0. And then our y-intercept, this is going to be when the x is equal 0. So y equals 0 minus 4 times 0 plus 2. That's going to be -4 times 2. So our y-intercept is at negative 8. Okay, so if we're going to sketch this thing here, like so, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2, our y-intercept's at negative 8, so I'm just going to go down here and say, hey, that's negative 8. At least that's what I'm calling as negative 8. Okay, looks like our axis of symmetry, the middle of this thing is going to be right about here, so I'm just going to kind of sketch a point in and go up like so. Sorry, this is not very easy to draw nice pretty curved lines on, but again, it is a sketch, so that is close enough. It shows that I understand what's going on. Okay. Last one to take a look at is number 4. Sketch the graph of each function by considering the value of a and the axis intercepts. So the a value is 3, and it's positive 3, so we know it goes up. And let's do the x-intercepts. That's when y equals 0. So 0 equals 3 times x minus 1 squared. Now, if you'll notice here, look, we only have one way of making this equation work. And that's when the x-intercept, has to be positive 1, right? 1 minus 1 is 0. There's no other way of it happening. So we only have one x-intercept, but that's fine. And then the y-intercept is going to be y equals 3 times 0 minus 1 squared. Negative 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. So that's 3 times 1. So it's just 3. So let's do this. Y-intercept is 3. Right? So now we can sketch this thing here and there. So we got x-intercept is at 1. Y-intercept is at 3. Since it only has one x-intercept, it means it has to bounce off this point right here. So it's going to look like that and that. Okay? All right, that's all I have for the 6E assignment. If you have any further questions on any of these problems, please feel free to ask. Thanks.